In his regular Tuesday spot, Aaron Rodgers went on Pat McAfee and denied almost everything that was in the athletic report written by Diana Russini. He basically said that if he is going to play in 2025, the Jets are going to be his first choice. But don't take my word for it. Here's Aaron in his own words.
As far as my future goes, I haven't told anybody in my life that I want to play in 2025 and not on the Jets. So that's 100% false. I actually said the opposite. You know, I said that I'm going to wait and see what happens with at the end of the season, and if they want me back, and what happens with Brick, and what happens with the offensive staff, and obviously the GM at the time, and then they just fired Joe. There's a lot of things out of my control when it comes to that. But I've really enjoyed my time in New York. I mean, obviously we haven't had success that we've all wanted to have, but I've made some great friendships on the team. I've enjoyed living in Jersey. I've enjoyed time in the city. I've enjoyed getting to know the fans. And I came here to win here. So I'm not jumping off ship, like, oh, I definitely want to play and not in New York. Like, I don't even know if I want to play yet, but New York would be my first option. As far as my...
And there it is. So what's the truth? Who do we believe? Is this Aaron Rodgers being truthful, or is this Aaron Rodgers kind of just saving face? Clearly, he is torn on whether he wants to play in 2025. But it's clear that if he is going to play in 2025, he would want to do it for the Jets. Here is some more reporting from Rich Cimini. This is talking specifically about the IR issues. We made a video a few days ago talking about how Aaron Rodgers is refusing medical scans. Quote, this is the first tweet up top here. As for the idea of going on IR, Rodgers said that he feels great physically and adds, I will not willingly go on IR without an injury. As for the report that he refused medical scans in order to keep playing, Rodgers says that he has had great communication with the medical staff and knew the exact nature of his early season injury, hamstring. So again, I'm not sure what to believe here. I would like to think that Aaron is telling the truth, that he doesn't associate. Well, he said he doesn't associate with reporters that break news like that. But he did say, and one thing that was correct in the article was that he is not sure if he wants to play in 2025, and that it was a little bit contingent on whether or not Ulbrich and Joe Douglas would be there. So that was a little bit of truth in the article. So the article is not completely false. But again, it's up in the air. We don't know. And I don't think a new GM coming in is going to want to be hamstringed or want to be tied to paying Aaron Rodgers, $49 million over 2 years. I don't think a GM coming in is going to want to do that. Now, they're going to want a bridge quarterback, I think, because they're going to want to pick a quarterback in 2026. I don't think there's a quarterback in this draft that is worth picking. But who is that bridge quarterback going to be? I don't know if a GM is going to want to pay $49 million to Aaron Rodgers to be a, quote, bridge quarterback to get them through 25 to get to 2026 where they can pick a quarterback. That doesn't make sense to me, especially with the younger guys on the team that are going to want to get paid. So I think that this is kind of Aaron Rodgers just saving face a bit. He also said, funny enough, there was a report from Jordan Schultz saying that he actually does have a good relationship with the Johnson family, and that he went out to lunch recently with Woody. Aaron Rodgers corrected that, said it was a different Johnson. It was Chris Johnson he actually went out to lunch with, and we've kind of heard that he has a better relationship with Chris Johnson than he does with Woody. And from Aaron's perspective, that may be a good idea because Woody Johnson may not be in the country next year, and it's going to be Chris running the show. So if he's tight with Chris and Chris Johnson wants him around, then guess what? Aaron Rodgers is going to be around in 2025. He just is, regardless of what the GM wants. The new GM coming in has got to have a backbone here. Aaron Rodgers is not going to be the long-term future. We've got to get to that long-term future, and you're not going to pay a, quote, bridge quarterback that amount of money. You're just not.